You're just now joining us. Hopefully you got to sleep in a little bit. A lot of people were off work again today and out of school. I'm Stephanie Simmons here with Ron Trevino. We have our team coverage all across the Houston area, showing you conditions from Cypress to the Woodlands. We've been showing you Pearland for the last couple of days as well, and people have really been having a good time in the snow.
No, we're covering you from the roads and the latest on the weather. Let's go to Troy Kless. He's been on the island for a couple of days. What are conditions like there right now, Troy?
Hey, Ron, good morning. Yeah, I think things are slowly starting to improve. We're still seeing, obviously, a lot of that ice and snow accumulation on the roads, but you can see with the sun, probably a welcome sign that, things are starting to melt a little bit. We're over here, again, on the island side near the Causeway Marina, where you can see the Galveston Causeway behind me. I just want you to take a quick look. My photographer telling me that, things on the inbound side look relatively clear off the road, but it can appear that there may still be some ice that you can see on either the shoulders of the roadway. So again, if you don't have to be on the roads today, then that's going to be the best course of action. Just wait for that ice to thaw out. We see a couple, cars going slowly over the causeway this morning, and I was told, yesterday by Galveston County Judge Mark Henry that all bridges and overpasses had ice on them throughout Galveston County. So that is something that the crews are continuing to monitor, but luckily, it appears that there haven't been any major issues on the roadways as well. And, that is, obviously, great news to hear that people are, if they do have to be out and about, that they are taking it slow and, staying safe on the roadways as well. So that's what we've been seeing so far. Not really a lot of people out and driving on the road, which is obviously a good thing. So I think a lot of people had their fun yesterday, in the snow as well. And, now, things, again, still appear that many businesses are shut down around the island that we've been seeing. So, again, people urged to take caution if they do have to get out today. But again, we're seeing that, again, the crews are going to be here, working to make sure that the roads are clear just in case as well. So for now, we'll send it back to you guys in the studio. We'll keep you posted on what we see in the island. I want to send it over to my colleague in Orco Manna that is in Sugarland. Hi, Orco.
Yeah, Troy, you're talking about there not being any major issues. We're seeing a similar thing here in the Sugarland area, but there are still some crashes that we've noticed, especially on 59. You can see behind me, we've got one of these signs up here that says left lanes closed at Fondren, major accident. And actually just said a few minutes ago that that accident was cleared at about 8:21. So again, officials trying to warn people about any issues on the roadway using these signs. And if we look a little bit further at US 59, we can see that there are plenty of vehicles, cars, semis moving along. It's not huge traffic, but it is definitely more drivers than we've seen over the past 24 hours. And also, we know that if you were with us about 30 minutes ago, we were a little bit closer to the Sugarland Stafford border, and we saw a vehicle that kind of slipped a little bit on the black ice, on the slippery conditions out on the roadway. And this is an example of what some of that looks like. This is a little more slippery. It's a little frozen. There's some ice that has frozen overnight sticking to the part of the sidewalk here, and that's what we're kind of seeing throughout the roadways as well. But as I mentioned, for the most part, we haven't seen a whole lot of issues out here, so that is good news. Officials are telling everyone to stay at home. We know as the sun is coming out and the day continues, conditions are expected to improve, but there are still plenty of slick spots out there. As I mentioned, that crash we saw just a few minutes ago that we showed you live here on KHOU 11. So we are seeing some problem spots, but for the most part, things seem to be moving along. Again, you can see vehicles continuing to drive along the frontage roads and on US 59 as well. So if you are going to head out, just be very mindful of any black ice, any slippery spots on the roadways, because they can get dangerous, and you of course want to stay as safe as possible. We're live in Sugarland. I'm Orco Manna. We're going to send it back to you in the studio.
Orco, thank you. All right. Well, as temperatures dropped and the snow fell, concerns over potential power outages grew.
The biggest strain on the power grid projected to happen this morning when many of you are getting back up and at it. Cheryl Mercedes joins us from the newsroom with a look at conditions this morning. And Cheryl, how is everything holding up?
Hey, Ron, Stephanie, good morning. Things are looking good, really good, better than expected. There was a risk between 7 and 8 o'clock this morning when people were waking up that could trigger high energy demand, but we are well past that. And take a look. Solar and wind are doing great today. Now, the sun is up. If you've been outside, hopefully that'll help with the road conditions. So the sun is up, helping out with that solar energy. The wind, we've got some of that. Yesterday we had a lot of that, helping with that energy as well. And just as I was sitting at my desk, I could see that solar bar just moving. And if we take a look at the outages this morning, we're looking great with those grid conditions and the center point outage. Right now, we're looking much better than yesterday at 6,900. But I do want to point out, though, in Harris County, that's where we're seeing the majority, though, of those outages. Yesterday, around this time, we're seeing them at Brazoria, closer to the coast. Right now, we're seeing in Harris County closer to 5,000 power outages. So likely there's a lot of response here in the city of Houston and outlying areas happening with center point, which is why leaders are urging folks to please stay off the roads. If you don't need to be on the roads, stay off of them. But at this point, grid conditions are looking great. So hopefully everyone will be up and running at some point today. Ron, Steph?
Yeah, let's keep giving power to the people. All right, thank you so much.
All right, it is 8:36. Let's send it over to Kim Castro with the latest. Kim, when is this ice and snow going to melt?
Oh, by tomorrow afternoon, things are going to be a lot better. Between now and then, we're going to go through peaks that it's a little bit more dangerous to be on the roads, and some portions of the day where I think you will have better luck if, again, you are an essential worker and you are required to show up. I can see why the energy demand peaked this morning. Check out those lows. 19 degrees in Brenham. We got down to 19 in Tomball. Bush Intercontinental Airport dipped down to 21 degrees. This is actual air temperatures, and there was a wind chill to factor in here, so some spots got down into the low teens, 11 degrees for the feeling this morning. Hobby Airport, 18 was your morning low, and if you live in Pearland, your morning low was 16. Current temperatures across the area. Do you live in Jersey Village? It is 26 degrees right now. In Rice Military, it is 23. If you live around the ballpark, it is 26. Edo, 24. So we are all extremely chilly still in the 20s. 21 for Tomball, and Humble sitting in the 20s as well. 19, so still not past the 20 degree marker for Conroe. 22 for Hobby, and Angleton sitting at 20 degrees. Here's a look at the Gulf Freeway. So many spots, even though the sun is out, with the patchy area. You'll notice this car right here taking it very slow, smart, because honestly, accelerating is the biggest no-no when it comes to this type of trekking, especially with our tires. We do not have all-weather tires. I would be willing to bet that most of us do not, and they are just not set up to handle that. So icing on the roads, if you are that essential worker, I'm happy to see most of us are taking it extremely slow. Like Jen has been recommending, drive on that center lane. You'll notice a lot of heat traction there from the cars is making for a clearer path. You do not want to drive along those lanes that are clear. I know that's counterintuitive, but you'll notice those are the ones that are iced over. 24 degrees right now at Bush Intercontinental Airport. It actually feels like 17. Notice we've got plenty of time before the sun goes down. Tonight's sunset is at 5:50 to warm up the skies and to allow for some melting. So this is what I want you to keep in mind as we go through today and then gear up for another freeze again this evening. Be extremely careful on the sidewalks, and I'm speaking from experience. I was walking so carefully yesterday. I'm talking 1 foot in front of the other, and I still fell. So be really, really careful with those thin layers of ice, especially our parents or grandparents. They can't take a fall like that. So just be really, really cautious. If you are worried about that, maybe just stay home and watch that beautiful snow from the window. Layer up if you are going to play with the snow and with the kiddos too. Make sure you cover skin. So gloves, think about the neck, wear the scarves. It is chilly, and with the wind, it feels even colder outside. And then again, we've been talking about this all morning long. Limit travel, bridges, overpasses, interchanges, avoid them altogether. If you do have to travel, take the roads. This afternoon, we're going to pop up above freezing here in a couple of hours, but I'm going to tell you to give it a little bit of time. I think by 1 o'clock in the afternoon, now we've had a little time to allow the sun to do its thing and to melt some of those roadways. So by 1, I think travel is going to be a lot better. So you can travel 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. afternoon with a little bit more confidence. I zoomed in on the camera shot here for Katy because that is the area that yesterday I was tracking a lot of ice on the roads. It looks like for Katy drivers, things are a little bit better, and I do notice a little bit more traffic there, although everybody is taking it nice and slow. This evening, whatever melts is going to freeze over again. So the bottom line, do not drive in the morning, but if you do have to get somewhere, the afternoon is going to be a lot better. So 31 degrees for the overnight low in Woodgate. Acres Homes dips down to 31 Aldine, 31 downtown right at the freezing marker, 32 degrees, and then 20s still for the Tomball area, 20s for Cypress, 29 degrees is going to be your morning temperature. 31 for Addicts, Hunters Creek 32. The further north that you go, still tracking 20s, even along the I-10 corridor, 29 degrees in Katy, 26 for Liberty. So freezing again tonight, but tomorrow afternoon, that's when we start to see not only the sun peek through, but now a little bit more warmth, and that is when we're officially out of the woods. So we still have to be really careful, Ron, Steph, this morning, tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon. That's the all clear.
Thank you so much, Kim Castro, joining us this morning.
All right, it is 8:41. We're going to send it out now to Stephen Goen, who's been at Bush Airport for us this morning. Bush was closed yesterday. Things are starting to pick up this morning, and we know TSA should open in about 20 minutes, Stephen.
Exactly right, Steph. Just about 20 more minutes until security is open here at Bush Airport. We're inside Terminal A, and we are seeing a lot of travelers coming in right now. I mean, I've counted definitely more than 100 people in the past few hours lining up to get their flights rescheduled, board, and then get out of here. If you take a look over my shoulder this way, you will see at the Delta ticketing counter, a lot of people are bunched up right now, checking in their bags, trying to make it work. And that's not all. If we keep on going, panning over, you'll see there's a long line for Delta right now. I think this is the longest line in the airport currently. I can tell you that we didn't see Delta employees show up to start checking people in until just about 10 minutes ago. They were the only airline that did not have any workers here for the longest time, but now they're here helping get people checked in. But the airport, it was closed yesterday. I don't think we were expecting things to go perfectly smoothly today. That's why we're here, keeping an eye on things. But I can tell you that for a lot of these passengers and travelers I've spoken to, there is some frustration and confusion over the way things are going. Some passengers are telling me that, they did not get a cancellation or an email saying that anything was going to be updated or delayed. One man told me that his flight was canceled twice and he had to end up buying a ticket for another airline. Take a listen.
So it has canceled, I understood that. They helped me to change for today morning, the same time, 5:30. But I don't have received any cancellation email. I arrived early today, and when I saw that the Spirit was closed, I assumed that the flight was canceled. So yes, the company does not have any additional flight for Detroit today. They offer me one later for Thursday or Friday, so it does not make sense. So I bought another ticket via Delta. Hopefully I can join that flight at 11 a.m.
So no one likes any surprises, but if you are flying out today, you may experience some surprises if you are not careful. So this is your reminder. If you're going to be coming to either Bush or Hobby, check on your flight status. Either check your airline's app or check your email to see if any updates got sent there. If they haven't been, you call your airline's customer service hotline to see if they have any information for you. As we said when we started, security is going to be opening up in less than 20 minutes at 9 a.m. We know some flights will be arriving here at 10, and then the earliest flights are expected to be taking off around 11 a.m. So a lot of activity happening here at both Bush and Hobby. We're going to keep an eye on things to see how it progresses throughout the morning. But for now, we'll send it back to you. I'm Stephen Goen at Bush Airport, KHOU 11 News.